Hey there, Rebecca Faith here, and I am interviewing my friends. This is the first episode of Hanging with My Friends with Rebecca Faith, and today, I have such a treat for you. We're going to hang with Admiral Tracy, who is an author, a speaker, a Salvation Army groupie. We call her the Admiral so that she can have a rank. She's a cancer survivor. She is married. She has two teenagers, and she is in digital marketing, which means she knows way more about Zoom than I will ever even know to ask. She's also super Team Jesus, and we are just so delighted that she is here with us. I met her just a couple of years ago at a Salvation Army camp. She was volunteering right after her cancer treatments, and I just absolutely adore her. She's hilarious. She's so real. She's I just love talking to Tracy, and I know that you will too. So I hope that you will stay tuned, and make sure that you check out her website, pinkbrowntown.com. You can also find her on all the social media outlets at pinkbrowntown. All right, love you guys. Enjoy. Anyway, all right, so I'm here talking to Admiral Tracy, and I'm so excited because I haven't seen you in like a year and a half.
I know.
Yeah, it's been a while. Crazy. So almost 2 years now.
I know.
Oh, but I'm so excited. So we're here now, and so first, before we get started, I've told everyone a little bit about you. But can you tell us where to find you before I forget that? And so that if anyone is like, oh, who's Admiral Tracy, they can look you up.
Yeah, if you search Admiral Tracy, that's not going to pop up anywhere. So, and if you search Tracy Brown, there's a gazillion of us. So, if I am Pink Browntown on all things social media. So if you search PinkBrownTown, all one word, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever. I only like look at TikTok. I don't really like post on TikTok.
I don't get TikTok. I think I'm too old.
Oh my gosh. You'll get sucked in. Like, don't
go. Okay, got you.
It's very entertaining. Yeah. So, but I'm Pink Browntown on everything.
Okay, so. And your website is pinkbrowntown.com, right?
Is that right? It is. Okay. It is.
Right. It's just Pink Browntown everywhere. It's so easy.
It is. Facebook's probably the easiest way to get really connect. If you want to engage with me, it's probably what I'm best at. But Twitter's
ditto.
Ditto. You go to Twitter when Facebook crashes. That's what Twitter's for.
It's true. And it moves faster. Like, it's just the little quips. When you don't feel like reading everyone's life story, Twitter's the place to go.
It is. And I don't know about you. Can we switch? This might just be it's me. Just kidding. There, I had to switch my view. It looked weird. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Operational error on my end. Okay.
I'm still figuring out Zoom. So, if you see that something is going to super haywire, just flag me down, because I'm in a little box in the corner on my screen and you're front and center, which I love because it feels like we're having almost like an eye-to-eye conversation.
I use this every day, so I should know how it works.
Good. You can give me tips. It's fantastic. We'll do another segment with tips from Tracy.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you, that was, we'll get to a funny story. I have a funny Zoom story about quarantine. This was awesome.
Fantastic. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're isolating and who you're isolating with.
Well, we were talking about how I become the only admiral in the Army.
It's true.
And it really comes back to how you and I met. So I'm assuming this is probably going out to mostly people in the Salvation Army. And for all of you, I'm more of a Salvation Army groupie. I'm not in the Army. I hang out with y'all a lot. I love y'all. I'm totally Team Jesus, but I'm Baptist. So we sing the same songs, love the same Jesus. But
Amen.
my best friend is actually a major in the Salvation Army. So I would go to events with her. Sometimes I've spoke at one of the women's conferences and things like that. And I had a little cancer a couple years ago. You know, it's kind of like being a little pregnant. Um, and when I got through with treatment, my cousin asked me, she's like, what do you want to go do? We should go do something fun. Anything you want to do? And I was like, I want to go to summer camp. I loved summer camp as a kid. We need to find a summer camp for adults. And, they don't really make summer camp for adults.
No.
But when your best friend is a major with the Salvation Army, she has access to summer camp.
That's right. Not this year, though.
No, I know. I'm so disappointed. So she knew this conversation was happening, and my friend Angie, she's like, well, if you would go through the Safe from Harm training, you could probably come as a volunteer. I don't know that we've ever had anybody who wasn't an officer in the Army go, but I'll ask. And so the Army arranged it so that, like, after I got done with treatment, it was like my little cancer wish that I got to go to summer camp.
And I don't know that I realized, like, I knew that you had come through cancer, but I don't know that I realized at the time how close in the timeline it was to you having finished your treatments at the time.
Oh, yeah. It was like the first big thing I had done. Like, the first place I had really got to go was to go to summer camp. And it's not, I guess, I didn't realize every adult at Salvation Army camp, and I went to a week that was the Boys and Girls Camp, all the adults there are officers with the Salvation Army. Well, I didn't know, because it was just, ignorance is bliss. So I was the only adult who didn't have a ranking. So everybody was kind of trying to figure out who I was and why I was there. And I didn't realize that an adult volunteering was unusual. So it was really an odd week, but you were there that week. So I got to have this awesome week with officers. So it was great. And with these kids, which was wonderful. And so the kids couldn't quite figure out, because the kids all knew all the adults had a title, except for Miss Tracy. So then I was like, well, I need a title. So the Army, I became Admiral Tracy, because y'all don't have admirals. And for anybody who doesn't get the joke, admirals are in the Navy. Yes. I feel like there's going to be somebody be like, why is that funny?
Oh, we had such a good time that week, and you've been Admiral Tracy ever since. So
I know, and I had such a blast. I went again last year because I asked them, like, can I come back and do it again? And I was planning on going again this year, and then there's no summer camp this year. I've had so much fun. That has been one of the best experiences, is getting to go and do that. My kids are like, why are you going to summer camp and we're staying home?
That's so awesome. And so you have 2 kids, right?
I do. So they are 15 and 16. That second one wasn't exactly planned that close.
I understand. We have the same thing with our 2 boys. And we both have a trip with 2 P's.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We do. Yeah, so we both have a third. So yeah, so we have Trip, who is 16, and my daughter Keegan is 15. So they're both driving.
Oh.
So my poor daughter, God love her. So in South Carolina, we live in Myrtle Beach. In South Carolina, you can get your license at 15 and a half.
Oh, wow.
She got her license after the stay-at-home order.
Oh, bless.
You remember getting your license and then, like, the first thing you did was get in your car and go somewhere, right?
That's right.
She got her license and had to stay at home.
Bless.
I know. So every day she's like, you need me to go to the grocery store?
Oh, yes, I do.
You want me to go to Walmart? Like, and the grocery store literally is less than a quarter of a mile from our house.
Oh.
Oh my things. Yeah, so she hadn't even been able to drive. So she got her license and hasn't been able to drive anywhere.
Bless her heart. Quarantine
Yeah,
tales. I
I know.
mean, the stories they'll be able to tell their kids. I mean,
I know, right? I told him, I was like, y'all, when you have kids and they start acting a fool, you're going to be like, let me tell you about when I was a kid and the whole world shut down.
that's right.
And you'll
That's
be
right.
telling the truth. You're not even exaggerating.
Not at all. Not at all. And when we had to hoard our toilet paper and
I know.
ration it out.
Oh, again, my daughter the other day walks in. She's like, what's up with our paper towels? Because we had to get a different kind of paper towel. And I'm like, that's all the store had. You had to take what you could get. And she's like, oh, like she's like some paper towel snob or something. I'm like, but it's the only kind of paper towels in the store, and we were running low. So I'm like,
That's right. You do what you got to do.
that's all that was available.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So what is the funniest thing that has happened so far in your quarantine with your husband and your two kids?
Well, I thought this was hilarious. My child did not think it was funny. So, they get home. So both of my kids are in high school, and they both go to an accelerated school, STEM school. So they both think they're geniuses. Anyway, they don't realize they get that from me. But
Of course. Duh.
yeah, so they, they're doing their little Zoom things. They've never used Zoom before. I've used Zoom for 8 years. I use it every day, long before Corona.
So you really are an expert. Perfect.
Yeah, we have to use it every day. So she comes home and she's like, oh, we're using Zoom. And she's like, let me show you how this works, and da 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 da, and thought she's gonna school me.
Oh, wow.
I was like, excuse me, like, let me show you what all this will do. So it was kind of fun because she thought she was gonna school me, and then I got to like really show her how things worked. And then she's like, oh.
It's always hilarious when they find out you know more about something than they do, because especially at that age, I think you're starting to feel like you know more than your parents about pretty much everything, but especially technology.
Well, and it's rare it happens with technology. So this was the one time I had like the upper hand. Generally, they really do have me on technology, but this was the one time I was like, I got this one. So,
I'd be wanting to do cartwheels after that or something. Of course, I won't try that anymore, but
And then let's go make you some fun backgrounds, and let me show you how to do it. And you got to flip the images and show you how to upload them. And
nice.
Yeah, so
I when I turned this on, I had a Harry Potter background. I didn't even remember uploading, so I had to change that back to like a normal person looking thing here.
I think the other fun thing that's happened here. So I live in Myrtle Beach, and the Tiger Kings come out, right?
Right. Weird.
So one of the guys lives here. One of those places docked. So Myrtle Beach Safari is featured on there.
That is fantastic.
So all of my friends from all over the country are like, do you know Doc? I don't know Doc, sorry. But we all kind of know who he is. He's not crazy like they make him out to be. I know his daughter. I know that like that family, they're very nice people. The family, and like, it's a very reputable place here. Like, it's kind of twisted in there, but like that's been fun. Like here.
Well, now I'm gonna have to watch it. I have not watched it. I have 2 little kids, and I'm trying to do Salvation Army stuff from home as much as possible, and keep up with the laundry and the dishes and cooking. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
I cook 6,000 meals in a day. My kitchen is a wreck every day. Even if I'm not cooking from scratch, which it's just mind-boggling.
You can't go with paper products because there aren't any.
Right. And how many are you going to buy, even if you can find them? Like, you can find party plates sometimes, just in case you do need paper plates. You can get you some really nice trolls or, yeah. So I have a little boy. So I will have had 2 little boy birthdays in the quarantine time. So my 5-year-old just turned 5. Trip just turned 5 in March. And Wes will turn 4. I told you mine are close together like yours. We weren't expecting him either. So he will turn 4 on May 15th. And oh my goodness, all he wants is Blue's Clues everything. And do you know there is not a Blue's Clues thing to be had except for something from 1994 that's a collector's item and is $165,000. So I'm gonna have to get creative, but
I can't believe that that's still a thing.
Right? Blue's Clues, because it just came out again, but I didn't know that all the stuff from back in the day was so collectible. Had no clue.
Who knew? We would have saved that stuff.
Right. We shouldn't have even played with it. We should have left it in the box because we could have made $1 gazillion. But anyways, moving on. So what have you gone through in the past that is helping you to walk through what we're doing now?
Oh my gosh. This is where having cancer was super helpful.
Which who knew you would say that? Like what?
I know, right? There's cancer perks.
There ought to be some.
I know, right? There really were a lot because you can get away with anything when you had cancer. So it's like, even now, like it's been 3 years, and if I don't want to do something, I'll be like, I don't know if I'm up for it. And people will be like, I'll handle it. And I'll be like, okay.
That's awesome.
It's not that I can't. I just don't want to. Well, y'all don't tell anybody that because it's our secret.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I only have like that 29 followers, so it's fine.
9 times out of 10, I just didn't want to do it.
I can edit that part out.
It's okay. I think my family's pretty much on to me. Like they know. But at the time, I'm just like, I just don't think I can.
That's great.
Yeah. So no, but I'll tell you what, that time going through that, because there was a time, I just had to stay home, or I couldn't be around a lot of people when my immune system was compromised, like when I was going through chemo. But I had to eliminate a lot of things because I was like just involved in everything. I would volunteer for a lot. I didn't just volunteer, like I was the one heading up major fundraisers. I didn't just head up major fundraisers. I traveled the country and showed other people how to set them up. Because mine was so successful, I would go to other, I did things with professional baseball teams, and I would go to other stadiums and help them set theirs up. So I was just very, very active. So I had to eliminate a lot of things, and I had to minimize who I was around, and I had to prioritize things. And doing that, it really taught me how to figure out how to say no to stuff. And it's really hard to say no.
It really is.
And it really opened my eyes to sometimes there's good people in your life, and it's not that they're bad people, but they just suck the energy out of you. They're just draining you. They don't pour into you, and they leave you. They just want to be around you because of what you give to them. Especially when you're a high energy person, and they never pour back into you. And when those people are removed from your life for a short period of time, you realize how much they were sucking out of you.
Yeah.
And when I was in treatment, I realized I didn't want to put those people back into my life.
Right.
And it wasn't that they were bad people. I don't think that it was intentional. But I realized they weren't adding value to me. Now, some people, they're in your family and you cannot get rid of them. But you can minimize your time around them.
That's right.
There's some people that I just chose to not start hanging around again when I was able to. And I'm sure that there's people right now that you're realizing that, you know what, not being around them it really might be more of a blessing right now than you realize. It's hard to say that because you hate to feel that way, but taking care of you, when you take care of yourself, it allows you to take care of more people.
Absolutely.
You can't fill up other people's cup if yours is empty. And if you're only around people who are sucking you dry, you can't do anything for others. So doing that helped me, and going through treatment also. And this was hard at first because when you are quarantined, you have to sit and realize, do you really like yourself? Because you are with yourself a lot.
This is true. This is true.
And if you don't like yourself, you need to become somebody you want to be friends with.
So true. And there's so many resources out there to make yourself over right now.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you a really good glimpse into are you who you want to be? Do you like being around you? Because if you don't like being around you, nobody else is going to. But then, the things you wanted to eliminate, and it makes you realize what you really miss.
That's the truth.
And what you really want to put back into your life. But it really helps you realize what you can live without. And the things that you thought you had to have or had to do, you really don't. I think this is very freeing. It's very freeing when you're required to kind of get rid of some stuff.
Absolutely.
And activities and the schedule. I don't know about you. I've noticed, well, your kids are little. I have teenagers who both are very good students. Like my daughter's in 9th grade has never made a B in her life. Accelerated everything. So they both are excellent students, are both athletes, and both have jobs. My son actually has a job. He's also a referee. He plays on 2 soccer teams, and he has his own business. He's a licensed drone pilot. So these are very
I did not know all that about you. I mean, I see your daughter's fashions all the time that you're
Oh,
posting.
yeah.
She is amazing. Her skills are
God, right.
blows my mind.
I had nothing to do with that.
That girl needs to make some masks for the world, and she can make $1 gazillion right now.
No. So for everybody watching this, my daughter loves to sew. Like, she designs, makes her own patterns, sews, but she only makes things for herself and our dog.
Well, that's okay.
She won't make anything for anybody else. Gorgeous things. I tried. I'm like, well, make me a dress, and she's like, no. Her friends ask her to. No, she won't. Like, she has people that will offer her money. She's like, then it won't be fun. I'm like,
well, I mean, it's like right now, it's just a passion. Like, she loves doing it, and she's developing all that. So, I mean, that's okay to just do something because you love it.
I know. She's so creative, but her aunt's like that. That's where she gets it from my husband's side of the family. It has nothing to do with me. I can't do it. Yeah. So,
you have other skills. It's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. But these are like very busy kids. So, right. Their schedules were always so tight. It's been very nice for them. Like, they just are relaxed for the first time ever because every minute of their days were planned. It was very rare they had a day off for anything. And for them to have 2 months off completely, I've never seen my children more relaxed. And it's been very eye-opening to see them like this. Just not stressed or worried. And it's been interesting and seeing them try new things. Like, even my son was like, so he's a licensed drone photographer, and has his own business. So our church knew this, and since they started doing things virtually, called in to ask them if they knew he knew that, so asked him to come help with some of the tech stuff to start doing youth group virtually.
Nice.
So he started getting involved with that. And so it's given him other opportunities to jump in and do stuff, but and they're just so chill and just laid back now. And before they were, not that they were stressed, they've never been really stressed because they just know how to handle life, because I teach them how to handle life and not be pansies.
We've had this conversation. Yes.
Yeah.
It's an important thing.
Yeah, I don't think you need to teach your kids to like be a pansy and feel your feelings, but then move on.
Right.
Like,
This is how it is. Let's say, okay, what can we do? Let's move on.
Everything's not offensive. Just because somebody doesn't agree with you does not mean that's offensive. That means they don't agree with you. It's okay. I don't always agree with your daddy. We're married. It's okay. That doesn't mean it's offensive. Like, yeah. So, we have interesting conversations in our house.
I would love to be a fly on the wall sometimes in your house. Didn't you tell me that you asked your kids to tell them what the funniest thing is that happened at school that day?
Yeah.
I think I remember that was you telling me that.
Yeah. So I don't know about anybody else. So, and your kids are still little, but when they get a little older, you'll be like, tell me about your day at school. And they'll be like, nothing happened. What? Yeah, it's all right. And so I could never get them to tell me. So I'd be like, well, tell me the funniest thing that happened today. Or tell me, what was the weirdest thing that happened today? Tell me the strangest thing somebody did today. You will hear some weird stuff, y'all. It's so awesome because they will tell you about all the weird stuff that goes down at school. And like, it'll make you feel like you are killing it at parenting because y'all know, like, we all feel like we're failing every day. Like, my kids, like, every day, I just sit and told y'all how wonderful my kids are, but let me tell you, I'm certain I'm screwing these kids up every day. I'm not going to tell you, like, I love Jesus, but I can tell you in quarantine, I've probably dropped the F-bomb more than I ever have in my life. And I'm just telling you, I've prayed so many times, God, I'm so sorry that I said that today. And that's just me being real, because it just is, because you've been in the house with these people a lot.
It is overwhelming. I feel like I've turned into a monster a few times. Like that, I used to joke about, there's a meme that says, in the morning, mommy's Mary Poppins, and then by bedtime, she's Cruella de Vil. That is just like on a whole other level right now. So I feel that big time right now. It is a lot. And even though mine are little, so like they go to preschool for part of the day every weekday except for Friday usually. And we have a babysitter who is extremely high risk, and so like even cheating and having babysitting is not an option right now. And we work in the Salvation Army, so we are feeding out of the truck, at the food truck, the canteen, every day. And so someone has to be out there doing that. We're recording the stats for that. I'm so behind in putting them in, God bless. But it's just, it's so overwhelming just being with the kids all day, every day. Like I told my kids, I was like, so that we could talk, hopefully uninterrupted. I was like, you can play any game you want on your Kindle Fire, any game you want, because I know it's fairly safe. It's going to be within their age group. At this age, I don't have to worry too much about what they're going to get into. But I mean, like I've started finally locking the bathroom door just so I can have 5 minutes of peace, maybe less.
When you get teenagers, you finally get to the point and just like, don't drink alcohol and don't look at porn. Like, like you're just like, oh, I just need a few minutes alone. And you just are like, and they're like, Mom, and it's like, y'all, and they're like, don't worry, okay. Oh, this was funny. So y'all are gonna know we have a weird sense of humor.
I love that about
the TikTok thing. my kid told me. So there's this little TikTok thing going around. This was the funniest thing that happened in quarantine because I started watching TikToks and it was funny, but there was this little TikTok going around and people would play this little tune and it would make teenage boys laugh. They're like, play this and see if it makes him giggle. And I told my son, I said, this has to be from an inappropriate website, this little tune. I know that's what that has to be from. And he's like, oh, Mom. And he's rolling his eyes. He said, first, I only know it because it was from a meme that was popular. So you just need, like, he has to preface how he knows this. And I was like, is that what it is? It's from I was like, that's what it is, isn't it? It's from an inappropriate website. And he said, this is what he tells me. He said, you can't act like you know what it's from. He said, because when kids know that an adult knows what it's from, we know that you've been looking at inappropriate websites.
Oh, call it out.
He said, so if you hear it and there are teenagers around, you have to look oblivious or my friends are going to think you've been looking at that.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow. That's so good.
I forgot about that story until just now.
That is so good. Mine is that one of my kids fell down the stairs. I don't know if you saw my Facebook post on it a while back, but so I hear there's only one sound that is kids falling down the stairs. It just is what it is. So I'm like sprinting to the stairs, like jumping over hurdles, all, like there could have been a really funny movie about this. And I get to the stairs and Trip is on the floor, like in a puddle, just crying, Mommy, Wes pushed me down the stairs and I hit my head. He's my drama queen. He is a drama queen. So I pick him up, I take them both up the stairs and we go sit on the couch and I'm trying not to kill Wes. And I finally get him calmed down and Wes, why did you push Trippy down the stairs? Well, Mommy, he was in the boat. I was pushing him down the river. And I remembered seeing a banana box on the landing of the stairs. So he was trying to,
That was legit.
Absolutely. And I'm like trying not to laugh hysterically. I just give everyone cookies and we watch the movie. I mean, like, I can't even punish you now because that is just too funny. I mean, obviously he wasn't trying to hurt his brother. So that's our funny. I have lots of funny things that the kids have said, but that is the funniest thing they've done.
Kids are hilarious, and you really have got to have a sense of humor. And I think you got to have a sense of humor through this. People are hilarious. They're doing crazy stuff. I think the interesting thing is, though, this is a one-time, like, everybody in the world, like, we are all going through this at the same time. It's not one of those things where your neighbor doesn't know what you're feeling. Right. We all know exactly how each other's feeling. Like, you can be, like, wherever you're at, and if you're having a moment, you can look at somebody and just give them the look, and they know it. Yep. It doesn't matter who it is. They're like, I know, girl.
We need like a coronavirus salute, like the Katniss Everdeen thing, like, exactly. But we need like a whole like a thing where you're not touching your face and you're not touching anybody, but like the I get you thing. We need one of those.
I think we're going to come through this differently, though. I'm very interested to see how life's going to change. I think there's going to be really cool businesses come out of this.
I agree.
Because, Uber and Airbnb came out of the last recession. Like, there's going to be really cool businesses that come out of this. As much as people are hurting and there's going to be businesses that don't survive. There's going to be some that just are going to blow up out of this that we never imagined. I think life's going to be different. Things aren't going back. People are like, I can't wait to get back to normal. It's not going back.
It's going to be a new normal.
It is.
Absolutely.
So we're going to just have to be prepared for different. And just be ready for that. It's not bad. It's just going to be different. And how we react to that is us being okay with change is going to teach our kids to be okay with change. If we were like, oh my gosh, I don't know why it's not going back. If we have a bad attitude, our kids have a bad attitude. Right. But if we're cool, they're cool.
It makes me think of that book. Did you ever read Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, yeah, that was forever ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me kind of think of that. Like if you're not getting the clue that the cheese has moved right now, you're going to take a long time to catch up. The cheese has moved.
Yep. Exactly. I forgot about that book. I read that like 20,
I know, it's been a
15,
while.
20 years ago. I was in my 20s, I know, and I'm in my
Yeah,
40s.
I
So,
can't remember.
it,
Yeah, it's been a good while. I always think it was like yesterday. I have no concept of time in my mind. It was like yesterday, last week.
yeah, that was a long time. Yeah, but that's exactly it. Yeah. So the cheese has moved. It's not coming back. But I don't know that it's going to be a bad thing. I think, it's just going to be different. Um, but it's going to be interesting. We just kind of got to roll with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and figure it out.
So
Um,
what on that line, what do you hope that you or your family or the church or the world or whatever, what do you hope that we're like for all of us is the takeaway out of this? Like what are you hoping that we're going to bring into that new normal?
um, hopefully reset priorities of, you know, I think I think people are realizing personal relationships. I think they've gotten really more focused on um, communicating with people. I think they've realized digital communication is not bad, but I think they've gotten better at using it to actually connect instead of just throw up what you're doing on people. They've actually figured out how to connect with people. And those young people that everybody complained about are the ones that have taught us to do it.
Yeah, right.
You know?
That's so true. My cousin was the one who like she set up she's one of the younger of our big set of cousins, and she was like, so I want everyone to get on Zoom on Saturday, and I'm like, what is Zoom? So and she had to teach me how to find a background because she showed up with a Sesame Street background and I was jealous. um
Oh,
so thanks, Kayla. But anyway, so I think you're absolutely right.
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of good come out of it. I think things are just going to, it's going to be a shift different. I don't know. I'm very excited to see the change. Um, Obviously, our community is living in Myrtle Beach. Our entire economy is based on tourism. So,
Right, we're in Asheville, it's similar.
yeah. So, personally, like, that's hurting. A lot of our friends are hurting, businesses. So, our economy, local economy, I think is probably going to evolve quickly. It's going to have to. Um, so, I think I don't think it's all bad, but I look at it the same way I kind of looked at cancer. Yeah, it sucked. It really sucked, but the byproducts of it weren't all bad. There are
Um,
some.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, there's just some good byproducts of it. It's just how you learn to play the hand you're dealt. You
Right.
just if you learn to play the hand you're dealt, then you can win at anything. You just got to figure it out.
Yeah. And I love what you said about like, yeah, it sucked, but, and I think that like, it's okay to like mourn what is not. I have a graduating senior in high school, a graduating senior in college, and I was last Saturday supposed to walk to get my master's degree. Like it's okay to mourn all those things that are not going to be. Chip should be graduating from pre-K. They're doing a drive-through graduation, which I think is hysterical for preschool. They're going to let you borrow the cap and gown so you can take pictures, which I'm super excited about. Mamas, you got to have the pictures. But I think it's okay to mourn the things that are going to be different. It's okay to mourn the death of your plans. It's okay to like be sad about that, and to recognize this is not easy. This is not fun. But I think what you said also is really important. there are really good things coming out of it. There are really good things happening along the way, the way that communities are pulling together and being creative and finding ways to do church together and to reach out into their community. I mean, those are, people are being super innovative and creative. I've talked more to my neighbors in the last month than I have in the 2 years we've lived here.
Oh yeah. And sometimes it might not have been what you had planned, but sometimes what you get is better than what you had planned.
Absolutely.
Now my son's a junior, but many of his friends are seniors. He's captain of his soccer team, so a lot of his buddies on his soccer teams are seniors. His best friend was supposed to graduate this year. So he's missed his prom. His prom got canceled, and they're missing graduations and stuff. And some of them aren't sure if they're even going to get to start college. And he was actually supposed, all of his classes next year were actually college classes. He was,
wow,
because he ran out of high school classes this year. So we're not even sure what high school will look like for him next year, because all of his were like dual enrollment classes next year. So like we're having Zoom meetings all the time now, trying to figure out, well, this is what we think his schedule will look like, but we're not sure.
I feel like that's like the phrase of the year right now is, this is what we think is going to happen. This is what we think we're going to do.
And I was like, we're okay. We'll make a decision when we cross that bridge. So,
right.
Yeah, but sometimes your memories end up being better than what you had planned. So, it may not be what you thought, but it doesn't always have to be. Just because sometimes we get this image in our head of this is what it's supposed to be, because that's what everybody's told us. But
right.
Why?
Right.
Just because everybody else has done it, you know what? You're going to have a memory that nobody else has.
Yeah, I have to have a conversation with myself quite often.
Yeah.
They're stuck. Come here. Do you want to say hi to Miss Tracy?
Hi, Miss Tracy.
Hi. Are you having a great day?
Oh, are you having a good day?
Yeah. What's my iPad?
All right, can you go play some more iPad? I'll be down there in a few minutes, okay? Oh, my sweet little boy.
Okay.
He is so, and that's why I said we have to meet in the morning, because in the morning there's sweet as pumpkin pie like that, where I can just be like, okay, go outside and go do this, and my little morning babies. By afternoon, oh Lord Jesus, help us all.
I feel you. Yeah. That's when you're like, I honestly am very thankful I have teenagers now. I don't know how you do it with little ones right now. Because like my kids can drive. Like my son and his buddy, like his buddy's got a truck, and they're like, can we put our kayaks in the back of the truck and go to the river? And I'm like, yeah, you can. Y'all have fun. We'll see you in a couple hours.
The first couple of weeks I was really trying to keep like activity, and we have to do schoolwork and we have to do that. And then by like the end of week 1 or 2, I can't even remember, it's all a blur. I just was like, something has to give, because I cannot function like this. I cannot keep this up. And I realized I don't have to make my day look like one of my friends who is just amazing. Like, she thrives on structure. I do not thrive in that environment, apparently. Yeah. Like, I need a basic structure. Like, we will do some school in the morning, and we will do some art, and we will do, like, that is the structure I can fall in, but I cannot function in at 8 a.m. we're doing this, and at 9 a.m. we're doing this. I can't do that.
You're so wise. I think as women, we compare ourselves to when we see somebody else doing something well, and we compare our best or somebody else's best to our worst.
We do.
And you can't do it. We're not all great at the same things. Like, I am not a Pinterest mom. I don't want to be. I never will be. I do not own a Cricket. I don't want to. Now, my friend that's a major in the Army, she has a Cricket. She loves it.
Oh my
And
goodness,
if I
she's
need something,
amazing.
I will call Angie and be like, girl, I need something. But I don't want it. I don't want to, I don't want to have one. I don't want to know how it works. I don't care. But if I need something, I know people who have them.
There
Because it
you go.
doesn't bring me joy, but it brings them joy. And we're not supposed to all be good at the same things. But if we realize, like, hang out with people that have different skills than you, because together, like, you make a team and you can complement each other. You're not supposed to all be great at the same stuff. But if you hang out with people that have different skills than you, like, you really can kind of like pull up the slack for each other. Instead of feeling like you make each other look bad together, you make each other look really good. But as women, sometimes we look at that the wrong way. And don't worry, like, nobody's life is as together as it looks on social media.
Yeah, because we ain't posting the ugly stuff.
No, like the fact that, like, last week I went like 5 days and didn't wash my hair. I washed it
get you.
today for you.
I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate
I
it.
mean, when
Mine
you're
is
not
pulled
going,
back in that sucky little bun because I've, got to put on my uniform in a little bit.
but we're not going anywhere and seeing anybody. So it's like,
Yeah.
do I really need to do it today?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that you said so many really good things there, that we often compare our worst to other people's best. And I mean, like, that is a little nugget that I feel like we just need to like remember all the time. Am I comparing my best to best or my best to worst? Like, what am I comparing right here? I just tried to kill my ear. I think that that's a really, really good point. And then that we need to look at it as being a team. I think so often we feel like we're always in competition. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this lady who is from, I think it was Brazil, she talked about how women there are a team. Like, that's how they operate, is as a team. They get together and cook together. Like, there's that village thing. And I think that is what I want to see us do more of, is make that village, that, hey, like, I have friends who I know will tell me all nice things and be like, oh, I'm so sorry that's happening. And then I got friends like you who'll be like, okay, and let's move on.
Well, and the first thing I do, so when your kids start high school, they meet new friends, right? Because they start going to school with new kids. So the first thing I do, because I always say, if you're going to start hanging out with somebody new, I have to meet their parents. Especially now that they're driving and things, right? So when I talk to new parents, I tell them, I say, first off, I expect, if my child is not being polite, I expect you to call them out on it the way you would call out your child. I will never be the parent that will be upset with you for correcting my child, because they need to know that we are on the same team. Also, I said, if you ever see something on social media or them in public or them doing anything, I said, if you would want to know if it was your child, I want to know. So you don't ever have to question if you should tell me. If it's something you would want to know, I want to know. And I always have this conversation with my kid standing there. So my kid knows that me and that parent are on the same page.
That's a really good idea.
And it's very shocking to me. Every parent will always tell, well, I've never had one tell, they're always like, thank you. They've never had another parent tell them that. But because people are always like, not my kid. And I'm like, because I've seen some questionable things and I've taken a screenshot and sent it to a parent. And finally I just said, I saw this. If it was me, I'd want to know you can do with this information what you want.
Right. Right.
Because a lot of people don't want to know, or they don't believe you. Or they'll, or they get upset with you, or they don't want you to correct their child. Well, I'm sorry, but sometimes kids are just jerks. Like, sometimes my kid's a jerk. I've got my kid, seriously, like, they lose their mind sometimes. And my son's 6'3", and I'm 5'2", and I'll be like, I tell him all the time, I will get a step stool and come up there. Yeah, so they need to know it's okay. Other adults that we are on the same team. But so often, people are like, don't you talk to my kid like that? I'm like, why is your kid talking to me like that? Like, why don't you talk to your kid about talking to adults like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we missed the mark somewhere in all of that. But
yeah, somewhere along the line there was like a shift, because there was a time where, I mean, if you were out of line, adults corrected you, period. And I think that we do our kids a disservice when we step into that. I mean, not that, I'm not gonna let someone else beat the tar out of my kids or anything.
Oh no,
but
I
if
see that privilege for me.
Right.
No, but they need to know that I can't. My son's 6'3". I can't. I had to get creative with punishments. He outgrew me in 4th grade. Oh yeah, I get real creative now.
You got to. I always say there's a lot of things that are a lot more painful than physical punishment. I mean, especially as they get older, I think there's things that are way more painful than physical pain.
Oh, he was talking to his buddies a couple weeks ago, and he looked at them and he's like, "Have y'all met Tracy Brown?" And they're like, "Oh yeah."
That's good stuff.
I like he's really a good kid, but yeah, they're so funny. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, but
well, hopefully we can get our 2 trips together at some point.
I know, right? So, and I love coming up there. I've got to get up there because originally we're from the mountains of North Carolina. We just moved.
And we've talked about that. I was planning on you coming this fall, and we'll see. I mean, maybe that can still happen, but it might have to happen. I don't know. But
because we're from Boone, so both of my kids were born in Boone. So, if we ever can get back up there, we actually still have a farm up there. So,
how cool! Let's just go meet at your farm. It'll be fine.
Well, there's nothing on there. Let me rephrase that. We have land that used to be a farm. So yeah, but we go up a lot. So hopefully we can get up there. I think this is so cool. I can't wait to see the rest of these conversations that are kind of transpiring and that you're doing. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you, and I hope that you guys all stay well, and that I know that you're continuing to work, so I hope your kids will kind of figure out what they're doing throughout this. I love that your son's helping out with youth group and all of this. It's just so fantastic. So I can't wait. Like, I need to order your book. I can't believe I haven't read it yet. So that's going to be on my quarantine list.
Literary masterpiece.
I bet it is. It will keep me in stitches, and of that I have no doubt.
I'll mail you one. I'll send you one. So
you're so sweet. I can't wait. I'm so excited. When I read it, I'm going to do a book review, and we'll do this again. And we'll just talk about the book. So I'm so excited. So if you guys have not been to pinkbrowntown.com, you got to go and find Admiral Tracy. But we're so excited. Thank you for doing this. I'm so glad that we got to talk. I'm so glad that you took time out of your day, because I know you're on Zoom meetings like all day long. So thank you for doing this. It was just so good to talk to you and so uplifting, and I will make sure I send you all the rest.